This is 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 3. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations, and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach. Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and blessings be multiplied on all you brethren, pushing this word in all sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect, 144,000. I'm the brother Dama Agabar here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. All right, and this is something very important for us to keep in mind as we're, in this truth and, serving Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, is that we do not war after the flesh. All right, and you have to understand the Lord didn't set up the men of the Lord in these last days to be a carnal, fleshly, worldly army, and being out here presenting ourselves as we're marching on Babylon. We're marching, for the truth. We're marching for the Most High, as if we're some carnal, fleshly army. All right. Our job is what? The weapons of our warfare are not carnal, man. You see, the Lord has told us to go out here and to preach this word, be instant in season and out of season. Go out there on the highways and the byways, teach this truth. The Lord didn't set us up to, be out here showing grand gestures of strength and marching and, protesting and, walking down the streets, in massive numbers, trying to show the so-called white man and these other nations, how carnally and fleshly strong we are and how many we are in number. That's carnal. That's warring after the flesh. The Lord didn't set us up to do any of that shit, man. Let me get this real fast. All right, this is 2 Timothy 4 and 1, and I'm going to show you a video while I'm doing this lesson. It says what? Preach the word, man. That's what Yahweh Shai told us to do. He told the apostles, if you love me, then feed my sheep, man. The Lord told us to be wise as harmless as sheep and wise as a serpent and harmless. Let's see if I can get that real fast. Was it wise as a serpent? Oh, slucky. What the hell? Let me see. Slucky. No. Here we go. This is Matthew 10 and 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. You see? So we're not to be out here presenting ourselves in some masculine, brutish, carnal type of, appearing, man. All right. We've been set up to be prophets. We've been set up to preach this truth, man. Not warring after the flesh, not presenting ourselves as some carnal, brutal, bestial, or carnal army. Like I said here, let me get that again, man. What does it say here? In 2 Timothy 4 and 1, it says, preach the word, man. And this is 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 1. I charge thee, therefore, before the Most High, and the Lord Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, who shall judge the quick and the dead at his appearing and his kingdom. Preach the word. Look up this word for preach, man. The word in the Greek is keruso. It says to be herald, to officiate as a herald, to proclaim after the manner of a herald. You see? It says to publish, proclaim openly something which has been done. It says use of the public proclamation of the gospel and matters pertaining to it, made by John the Baptist, by Yahweh Shai, by the apostles and other Israelite leaders. You see? It says to herald as a public crier, especially divine truth, the gospel, preacher, proclaim, publish. You see? And that's what the Lord ultimately set us out here to do, is to preach the word, man. What does it say? Preach the word, be instant in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. You see, that's what the Lord has commanded and sent us out here to do, to preach this word, man. You know, to preach the word, to preach against great kingdoms, against, let me get that in Jeremiah 28, man. Because a lot of these guys, man, a lot of these guys are on their own program. A lot of these guys are out here taking this truth and doing with it whatever they want to do. And it's ultimately, unnecessary things. This is Jeremiah 28 and 8. It says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old, both prophesied. What does prophesied mean? To say before. All right. Both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. All right. Never did the Lord ever tell the prophets to march and march on the streets and, prostrate yourself as some great standing army and march on the man and show your strength in numbers. No, the prophets were men that just went out and made public and spoke, spoke to the people, gave warning, blew the trumpet, gave our people the message of what Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, wanted them to hear. Not doing shit like this, all right? And again, you got who? The IUIC out here being superfluous and doing basically their own thing. And we know why they do this. What it says, and I didn't even notice until I saw it right there that you had IUIC out there marching once again during the Super Bowl. And again, the Lord didn't command us to go out there and put boots on the ground in this type of manner and marching. And like I say all the time, I'm gonna show you this little clip. You got all these hundreds of men, probably close to thousands of IUIC members out there marching and doing these stupid cadences like the white man's army, trying to prostrate themselves as being a force and, carnal. But like I said, all these Negroes out here marching, but ain't none of them doing videos on a daily basis. None of them are preaching the word. You see, only maybe a few of these guys are designated to, that are given the permission by Nate to go out and preach on the highways and the byways. Now, like I say, if all these guys were doing videos and setting up camps and prophesying like they were supposed to do, it would be a greater show. It would be something that Esau would fear even more. Esau doesn't fear you niggas out there marching on the streets as if you have some power, man. Esau can press one button and blow all you Negroes out of those black goddamn combat boots if he wanted to, man. You see? But like I said, this is, we know that Nate does this because he's doing it to get more members. He's doing it to get numbers. He's not doing this to sincerely gather the elect of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. This serves multiple purposes for these, for Nate and his group. Is to bring in followers. Is to deceive the simple. Is for these simple-minded Jake to look at this and be like, oh, look at the unity. Look at, they all wearing the same thing, the same colors. They're all in order. I want to be a part of that. Not knowing that once you get inside of that organization, you're not going to learn any fucking thing. All right. You're just going to become another one of Nate's zombies, man. But like I said, the main point of this is showing you that this is not what the Lord commanded. Let me show you this little clip, okay? Like I said, all these men out here marching. How come all these men ain't doing videos every single day out there on the highways and the byways? Instant in season and out of season. We know that the IUIC, wherever they live in this, like on the East Coast or where it's states where it snows or get cold during the winter, they take whole winters off, man. You see, but like I said, this is all to gain more followers. This is to lure in the simple-minded, and to basically to put more money into the IUIC's pockets, man, to get more simple-minded members, man. And like I said, it's all being done to present itself as if they're so in order and they're well-oiled and this is something you want to be a part of. But when you get into the inside of it, man, it's a house of false prophets. All right, so let's play this. See, the Lord didn't command us to do this shit, man. Look, this is a commandment of Nate. He's telling these men to do this shit. But like I said, we see right through this shit. We know why they're doing this, man. And it's to get more followers, man. It's to present it as if it's some, well-oiled, well put together, or something to be a part of, man. Like I said, these guys, what they're doing, Nate is not trying to gather the elect. They're just trying to get, they figure the more numbers they have, that's the more money they can get. Remember, the elect is a very small number, man. All right. And all these men that are marching, I can just honestly say some of them might be sincere, but a lot of them are not sincere, and a lot of them are not part of the elect. This is just a show in numbers, man. And like I said, and this is just shit that Nate does to gather more members, to lure in the simple-minded, and ultimately, they're not doing what they were commanded to do. And a lot of these guys, they're marching, they're in the IUIC, but they don't really know, what they're truly involved in. They don't really understand the full grasp of what this being an Israelite and what this truth is really all about. Like I said, a lot of these guys are just hangout guys. So like it. A lot of these guys are just doing this because it's something to be a part of. They look at this as just some fad. It looks good, it sounds good. We're all in unity, brothers coming together. We keeping all the commandments, all that BS that they push. But ultimately, this is not of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. This is of man. Look, that's Edomite shit, man. Like I said, the Lord didn't call us or command us to do this shit. And this is what Elder Apostle Gabar always says what they're doing. This is what it is here, right? This is superfluous activity, man. This is not what we were commanded to do. And it says what? Superfluous as an extra being over what is needed. You see? You marching is not, we don't need that that's not how you're going to gather in the elect, man. We weren't commanded to march and do all that cadence bullshit, marching down the street as if it's some show of power. We don't have no power, man, especially on no carnal, fleshy level. That's why I read 2 Corinthians. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal. And what they were doing was a complete show of the flesh and carnality. Because like I said, that ain't doing nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah, like I said, in a carnal sense, with fleshy eyes, it looks powerful. It looks like it means something. It looks like, oh, your white man is shaking in his boots today. Esau is not afraid of that bullshit. What Esau fears is the prophets out there on the highways and the byways prophesying and preaching this word in all sincerity and truth. He doesn't fear that carnal show of that posturing that these IUIC are doing. And it's funny how, they're marching on the Super Bowl. Why? Because that's one of the biggest so-called events that takes place here in America every year. So, of course, if you want to, if you're going to go to one of the biggest stages in America, you're going to go and march during the Super Bowl. For why? Because there's going to be thousands, even millions of people come into that city. And like I said, and they're not doing that to gather in the hopeful elect. They're doing that to just get as many members and many people interested in it so that they can join that organization, because that rakes in dollars. That brings more money. That brings more tides into that school. And you might say, oh, you're just being a hater. GMS, y'all broke, y'all bums, y'all haters, whatever. But hey, we see through the bullshit, man. And like I said, we know what you're out there doing. Now, of course, if y'all had all those men out there and y'all was preaching, prophesying, all those men had camps out there preaching, hey, I wouldn't have nothing to say. I would say that that's what's up. But that's not what you're doing, man. You're out there handing out flyers. You're out there trying to just gain more members, man. You're not out there sincerely doing that to gather in the elect. You're doing it to gather, like Nate said, he's been set up to gather all the 12 tribes of Israel. You see, but like I said, as Elder Apostle Kabar says, that's just superfluous activity, man. It's over. It's just not needed, right? And look at some of the synonyms, all right? It says unnecessary, redundant, unwanted. Who's unwanted by ultimately is Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, because he didn't command us to go out there and to do what these guys are doing. It says unneeded, unessential, needless, non-essential, copious, uncalled for. You see, insufficient, deficient. because that's ultimately what they're doing is. And like I said, yeah, they're gonna call me a hater and say y'all just hating on the IUIC. No, but that's just superfluous activity. It's unneeded. It's unnecessary. We were not commanded to do what they are doing. And one of the scriptures that these clowns will probably try to use to justify that is this Ezekiel 37, which I'm gonna show you something. All right, and this is Ezekiel 37:9. It says, "Then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind." Prophesy. You see, that's what we're supposed to be doing, prophesying to Israel, man. Bringing them back to their to who they truly are, man. It says, prophesying to the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain that they may live. And what is the breath? Is this truth, the divine inspiration of the Most High that's going to come upon the elect to give them the full 100% truth. And you see, when you read up in Ezekiel 37, it tells you about, prophesy unto the bones, and a lot of these jakes here, like I said, a lot of them have the skin, a lot of them have the understanding that they're Israelites, but the majority of these guys here, they don't have the full breadth and the full understanding of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. That's why these guys come into the IUIC, they still call on Jesus Christ. They don't believe that the MOTB is the micro C hip. They still have long hair. They get lineups. You know, they know that they're Israelites, but ultimately they don't have the full breath, and that's ultimately what Nate is gathering is a bunch of breathless Israelites. Yeah, they know they're Israelites. They believe that they're part of the 12 tribes, but they don't have the full breath. And that's why they're out there marching and participating in that superfluous activity of marching down the fucking street. It says, so I prophesied as he commanded me. And I guarantee you, if you was to tell them, why the hell y'all out there marching? Y'all wasn't commanded to do that. They'll bring out this scripture on you and try to cut you and say, we're fulfilling Ezekiel the 37th chapter, brother. But you're not. It says, so I prophesied as he commanded me, and then breath came into them, and they lived and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army, you see? So they'll read that and be like, see, brother, we are an army. This is what the Lord is gathering. This is what Christ is gathering, is an army of Israelites, and we're displaying that by marching. No, nigga, you doing that because, like I said, you want to just, get more members to come into that thing. But ultimately, this army that is speaking about is ultimately the elect. But let's look up this word for army. It doesn't have anything to do with a carnal physical army. When you look up that word for army, let me see something. Right, it says an exceeding great army, right? It says the word here we have is a hayal. It says strength, might, efficiency, wealth, army, strength, ability, efficiency, wealth, a force, an army. All right. It says probably force, whether of men, means, or other resources, an army, wealth, virtue, valor, strength, able, activity, soldiers, great forces, good, hosts, might, power, riches, substance. But it's ultimately talking about an abundance, an abundance of men. All right, because like I read in Corinthians, it's not talking about an army as in a carnal sense. Because when you go here for the word exceeding army, right? When you go to the word mayad, it says a might, abundance. It says muchness, force, exceedingly great, very idiom showing magnitude or degree, up to abundance, to a great degree, exceedingly, with muchness. All right, it just means what? That ultimately, the elect being raised up, men of great substance, men of great worth. All right, it's not talking about an army as in a carnal sense where we're gonna now, of course, we all are soldiers of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, but we're not soldiers in the sense of being carnal soldiers where we're going to take up arms and march on Washington and march during the Super Bowl to display how strong and how powerful we are. No, the strength comes from us prophesying and preaching this word. That's why I read in 2 Corinthians, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, and the Lord is raising up an army, but he's raising up an army of spiritual men, which is the elect. All right. This is not some carnal, brutish thing that we're out here trying to display. Like I read in Matthew, the Lord said, "Be wise as serpents, as harmless as doves," man. So we wasn't, commanded to go out here and to be marching on the streets, like some damn toy soldiers, man, trying to present ourselves as being, mighty and like we're, marching and doing cadences. They got that from Esau. That's what the so-called white man does with his army, man. All right. Our power is in prophecy, tearing down strongholds, revealing the truth, casting down imaginations, exposing the wickedness of this damn devil Esau Edom, man. All right. Preaching this word, prophesying. That's our power. That's being, we're winning the spiritual battle, man. Yahweh Shai is going to come back and he's going to rage war. He's going to physically take down this man. It's just for us to usher in and to prophesy the return of Yahweh Shai, to execute these things and to physically take down this damn devil, man. It wasn't for us to display ourselves as, some carnal, men. All right. And this is Isaiah 61:1. The Spirit of the Lord power is upon me, because the Lord have appointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He hath sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prisons to them that are bound. You see? So the Lord sent us to preach good tidings, to prophesy, to bring our people back, bring the elect back into this truth, to heal them first and foremost in their minds and in their spirit with this word and with this truth and with prophecy, man. It says to proclaim the acceptable year of Yahweh and the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourn. You see, that's what he sent us to proclaim, to be out publicly preaching this word, man. That's it. All of this extra activities and superfluous shit is unnecessary. It's unneeded. It's extra, but it's not extra in a good way. It says to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. And this is all things that this truth, it's by giving them this truth is what, is what this truth is what is healing our people, man. All right. It says the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they may be called trees of righteousness, the planting of the Most High, that he might be glorified. You see? And it's all about the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, being glorified. When they do shit like this is not glorifying the Most High. This glorifies Nate and his organization. You see? Because the Most High didn't command for you to go out there and to do this shit. You're doing this so that, it can look good upon you, so that it could raise the status and, bring more numbers and men to Nate, not to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. And we have to understand that and know, just keep it simple, man. Just do what we've been commanded to do, and everything else is going to take care of this place. But hey, all this marching and shit, hey, that's going to come back to bite Nate in the ass, man. It's going to come back to be used against you guys as being some carnal, some threat. And eventually, hey, when Esau starts really coming down with great wrath, he's going to be able to use that as a means to label you guys as domestic terrorists and throw your ass in Gitmo, or gather you niggas up and take you to Guantanamo Bay, or put you in one of these Venezuelan prisons, when he starts to really, gets busy out here, man. So we just got to be wise, man, and understanding what the will of the Lord is and do what we've been commanded to do. So, with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai for putting the spirit in me to do this lesson. Until the next one, shalom.